You might be surprised to learn that a seemingly healthy nut can increase your risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 48%, especially if you're over 60. This isn't a rumor. It comes from a multi-year study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Even more alarming, that very nut could be sitting in your snack jar at home, something you eat every day believing it to be good for your health. It can raise your blood pressure, trigger silent inflammation, clog your blood vessels, and even impair your memory and damage your liver and kidneys. Yet many seniors continue to consume these nuts, thinking they're low in sugar, low in fat, and heart healthy. This is a video you can't afford to miss. Whether you snack on nuts daily or care about your heart, memory, blood pressure, and bone health after 60. In the next few minutes, I'll share 4 nuts that are exceptionally beneficial for older adults, from those that help stabilize blood pressure to those that may help prevent Alzheimer's. 4 nuts that seem harmless but quietly wreak havoc, threatening your future independence. And at the end of the video, I'll reveal the single most dangerous nut that hardly anyone warns about, yet it's stocked in supermarkets everywhere, and it might already be in your pantry. If you've ever thought all nuts are healthy, hit like and let me know in the comments. Which nut do you eat every day? I read every response to tailor the most practical videos for our 65-plus community. James, 68, thought he was doing the right thing for his health. He ditched cookies and fried snacks, replacing them with a jar full of nuts in his kitchen. Butter roasted peanuts, crunchy cashews, and a handful of macadamias for an afternoon treat. I eat so little. It's all nuts. Good for the heart, right? He would tell his wife. But after 8 months of this habit, he started to feel different. Erratic blood pressure, poor sleep, indigestion, and slipping memory. At his checkup, the doctor warned him about chronic inflammation, lipid imbalances, and possible early cognitive decline. What surprised James most was that the healthy snack he trusted every day was part of the problem. James's story isn't unique. Many older adults accidentally fall into a health trap by eating the wrong nuts for their age. They snack on nuts because they've heard nuts are heart healthy, unaware that each nut has a different chemical profile, and not all are suitable for digestion, heart health, or brain function after 60. For example, some nuts are high in oxalates, increasing the risk of kidney stones, especially when calcium absorption is poor. Others contain excessive omega-6 fatty acids, fueling chronic inflammation and disturbing the omega-3 balance. Some can ferment in the liver, interfere with blood pressure medications, or impair memory in ways nobody expects. Moreover, after 60, our ability to detoxify and digest protein declines. Nuts rich in digestive enzyme inhibitors, or prone to mold, like peanuts, can become a burden on the liver, kidneys, gut, and even the brain. On the flip side, certain nuts have been shown to improve memory, lower cholesterol, boost bone density, stabilize blood pressure, and enhance sleep. When used in the right amounts and in the right way, these nuts can reverse many age-related health issues without medication. The key lies in the word choice. Not all nuts are created equal, and not every body absorbs nutrients the same way, especially a body entering maintenance mode. In the next section, we'll explore each beneficial nut, starting with almonds, the cornerstone for steady legs and balanced digestion. If you could choose only one nut to eat every day after age 60, almonds should top your list. Small and easy to snack on, they nevertheless pack a suite of nutrients perfectly suited to an aging body, from supporting bone health and digestion to protecting your brain. First, consider the bones. After 60, bone loss accelerates, especially in postmenopausal women. Tufts University reports that older adults can lose up to 1 to 2% of bone density each year if no intervention is taken. A quarter cup of almonds provides nearly 100 milligrams of calcium, a significant boost for such a simple snack. But calcium is only part of the story. Almonds also supply magnesium, the key mineral that shepherds calcium into your bones rather than letting it settle in your arteries. Without enough magnesium, calcium can go astray, contributing to arterial stiffness, high blood pressure, or even kidney stones. Second, almonds are heart healthy. Thanks to their monounsaturated fats, They help lower LDL, bad on cholesterol, reducing the risk of heart disease, a leading cause of death among seniors. Studies show that eating almonds daily can cut cholesterol by 10 to 15% within just a few weeks. Yet there's a quiet benefit often overlooked: digestion. After age 65, about 40% of older Americans struggle with constipation. Just 15 to 20 almonds a day deliver roughly 3.5 grams of fiber, boosting intestinal motility and keeping your digestive system running smoothly. No laxatives required. And notably, almonds may help slow brain aging. Their thin brown skins contain flavonoids, powerful antioxidants which, together with the vitamin E in the nut, deliver a one-two punch in protecting nerve cells. That's why experts recommend eating almonds with their skins on. How to use: enjoy 15 to 20 almonds per day, ideally raw or dry roasted without salt. Chew thoroughly, especially important for those with swallowing difficulties to avoid choking. If chewing is challenging, grind them lightly to sprinkle over oatmeal, yogurt, or smoothies. Storage: keep almonds in a cool, dry place to prevent their oils from going rancid. For longest shelf life and best flavor, store them in the refrigerator. Almonds aren't a miracle cure, but when eaten regularly and correctly, they can serve as your insurance policy for strong bones, healthy digestion, and a resilient heart after 60. Next, we'll explore the nut that looks like a brain and may truly help slow cognitive decline: walnuts. Close your eyes and imagine this. You step out the door each morning without needing a cane, without fearing cramps, without hesitating each step for fear of stumbling. You climb stairs, bend down to tie your shoes, or even dance a few steps to your favorite song without your legs protesting. This isn't fanciful. It's what modern nutritional science allows you to reclaim. With the right nutrients, taken consistently and sufficiently, we've explored 7 powerful nutrients together. Vitamin D restores fast twitch fibers, sharpens reflexes. Calcium fortifies your framework, prevents leg fractures. Vitamin B12 nourishes your nerves, steadies your gait. Magnesium stops nighttime cramps, relaxes muscles. Potassium conveys motor signals, boosts endurance. Vitamin K directs calcium where it belongs. Vitamin B6 bridges nerves, muscles, and circulation for speedy recovery. You don't have to start them all today, but by beginning with even one, you're already ahead of most people your age. Strong legs aren't a matter of luck, they're a choice. And now it's your turn. Share in the comments. 1. I need more vitamin D. 2. I feel low on energy and want B6 and B12. 3. I'll add potatoes, fish, and leafy greens to my meals today. 4. I want a full nutritional checkup for my legs. Choose a number or share your own story. We read every comment because your journey can strengthen someone else's. If there's one nut seemingly designed to support brain health, it's the walnut. Just look at its shape, like 2 cerebral hemispheres, and you can't help but feel nature is sending a clear message. And the science agrees. Walnuts are the richest plant source of omega-3 ALA among nuts. A single 1.5-ounce serving, about 7 to 9 halves, provides up to 2.5 grams of ALA, a fatty acid that protects neuronal cell membranes, enhances the flexibility of neural connections, and supports efficient information transfer within the brain. A recent study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who ate walnuts daily for 8 weeks saw significant improvements in processing speed, memory recall, and cognitive flexibility. But the benefits don't stop there. Walnuts are also packed with polyphenols that cross the blood-brain barrier to neutralize free radicals in neural tissue, one of the leading causes of Alzheimer's and other dementias. Here's a lesser-known bonus. Walnuts contain natural melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. As we age, our bodies produce less melatonin, making deep sleep elusive. Eating a handful of walnuts in the evening can gently improve sleep quality. No pills required. Walnuts also shine for heart health. They're rich in arginine, an amino acid that promotes vasodilation and helps maintain stable blood pressure. Combined with their polyphenols, walnuts reduce oxidative stress and lower the risk of atherosclerosis. Recommended use. Eat 7 to 9 walnut halves each day, ideally raw or dry roasted without salt. If chewing is difficult, chop them finely into oatmeal or yogurt, or blend into homemade walnut butter. Store walnuts in the refrigerator. Their oils oxidize quickly at room temperature, leading to rancidity. Pro tip, buy walnuts still in their shells and crack only what you'll eat each day. This preserves freshness and doubles as fine motor exercise, crucial for preventing hand function decline and peripheral nerve issues. Don't be deterred by walnuts' slightly bitter taste. It's a sign of potent natural antioxidants. By making walnuts a daily habit, you're not just nourishing your brain, you're extending your clarity, independence, and memory for years to come. In the list of nuts beneficial for seniors' health, pistachios are often overlooked. Yet if you care about blood pressure, eyesight, or blood sugar control, they deserve a regular spot in your diet. The first thing that makes pistachios stand out is their naturally high potassium and low sodium content, a perfect combination for cardiovascular health. A single serving, about 49 nuts, or 1 ounce, provides approximately 285 milligrams of potassium, which helps balance electrolytes, supports the kidneys in flushing out excess sodium, and can lower blood pressure by an amount comparable to a low-dose antihypertensive, without side effects. With over 63% of Americans aged 65 and older suffering from hypertension, this is welcome news. A study published in Hypertension found that daily pistachio consumption can reduce systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 millimeters of mercury, a modest drop, but one with significant implications for heart disease prevention. But the benefits don't stop there. Pistachios are rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, two carotenoids essential for the retinal macula, the part of the eye responsible for sharp central vision. As we age, macular degeneration becomes a leading cause of blindness in those over 60. Eating pistachios regularly helps protect your vision and slow this degeneration. Moreover, each ounce delivers about 3 grams of fiber, which helps regulate blood sugar, particularly beneficial for the roughly 25% of seniors living with diabetes or prediabetes. The soluble fiber in pistachios slows glucose absorption, reducing post-meal spikes. Here's another interesting aspect. The hard shell of each pistachio naturally slows your eating pace, making you feel full longer and less likely to overeat. Research in the International Journal of Obesity shows that seeing empty shells also helps you visually control portions, especially useful for older adults managing their weight. Recommended use. Eat about 49 pistachios daily, approximately 1 ounce, preferably unsalted or lightly salted, to support cardiovascular health. If you have arthritis or difficulty shelling nuts, choose partially shelled, half-open, pistachios. They still offer the portion control benefit. Enjoy them on their own, stir them into yogurt or salads, or grind them into a green pesto. Pistachios aren't just visually appealing, with their bright green kernels and subtle purple hues. They also signal a wealth of natural antioxidants. If you're seeking a crunchy, heart-friendly, vision-protecting, blood sugar-supporting snack, pistachios should be a staple in your kitchen. Less common than almonds or walnuts, Brazil nuts are a true hidden gem in the nutrition world, especially for anyone over 60 facing slowed metabolism, chronic fatigue, or sluggish nerve reflexes. The reason is simple. Brazil nuts are the richest known natural source of selenium. Just one nut contains about 96 micrograms of selenium, 137% of the daily requirement. This trace mineral is the key to healthy thyroid function, clear thinking, and neural cell repair. Thyroid dysfunction, particularly subclinical hypothyroidism, affects many older adults yet often goes undiagnosed. Symptoms such as fatigue, mild depression, unexplained weight gain, dry skin, and slowed thinking can all point to a sluggish thyroid. According to the American Thyroid Association, up to 20% of people over 65 have undetected thyroid disorders. Selenium is essential for activating the thyroid hormone T3, the body's metabolic regulator. Without sufficient selenium, even an adequate iodine intake cannot be converted efficiently, leading to slow metabolism, cold extremities, weight gain, and mood disturbances. Beyond the thyroid, selenium in Brazil nuts helps maintain the myelin sheath, the insulating layer around nerve fibers, much like the plastic coating on electric wires. As we age, myelin thins, causing slower reflexes, tingling, or mild tremors. Selenium slows that thinning process and supports a healthy central nervous system. What makes Brazil nuts especially effective is that their selenium is organically bound within the nut, making it better absorbed than synthetic supplements, and only a very small amount is needed to see benefits. However, because they are so selenium dense, you must be careful not to overconsume. In practice, just 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day provides all the selenium you need. Eating more risks selenium toxicity, which can cause hair loss, brittle nails, or a garlicky odor on the breath. Whenever possible, choose nuts still in their shells. The shell preserves both the delicate oils and the nut's full nutrient profile. Store them in the refrigerator to prevent their high oil content from going rancid. In addition to selenium, Brazil nuts supply heart-healthy unsaturated fats, dietary fiber to support regular digestion, and potent antioxidants that reduce cellular stress, benefits that every older adult can appreciate. Recent research even suggests that selenium from Brazil nuts may slow telomere shortening, the protective caps at the ends of chromosomes, thereby decelerating cellular aging. Think of Brazil nuts as a natural neurometabolic vitamin, small in size but mighty in effect. Not all nuts are beneficial, especially once you pass age 60. Some varieties that seem healthy can actually fuel inflammation, disrupt digestion, raise blood pressure, and even undermine your efforts to stay balanced, control blood sugar, and maintain memory. Below are 3 common nuts that deserve a second look. First, peanuts masquerade under a healthy guise, but are actually legumes that grow underground, making them particularly prone to mold. The most worrisome contaminant is aflatoxin, a powerful carcinogen that stresses the liver and weakens immunity, risks that only increase as our detox systems slow with age. Peanuts also contain high levels of omega-6 fats, which without enough omega-3 to balance them, can trigger chronic low-grade inflammation. This hidden inflammation can exacerbate joint pain, worsen hypertension, and even impair cognitive function. To make matters worse, the vitamin K in peanuts may dangerously interact with blood thinners such as warfarin, an interaction many older adults never hear about. And don't be fooled by commercial peanut butter. Most brands add hydrogenated oils, salt, and sugar, further raising your risk of obesity, insulin resistance, and high blood pressure. Second, cashews may taste soft and sweet, but each ounce contains about 9 grams of carbohydrates and has a higher glycemic index than most tree nuts. For the roughly 25% of seniors living with diabetes or prediabetes, these sugar-spiking properties can wreak havoc on blood sugar control. Cashews are also rich in oxalates, which bind to calcium and can contribute to kidney stone formation, or block calcium absorption in those already at risk for bone loss. Although industrial roasting removes the natural toxin urushiol, the same irritant found in poison ivy, poorly processed or uncertified cashews may still harbor residual compounds that provoke allergies or inflammation. Third, macadamias are undeniably delicious, but carry the title of highest calorie nut, roughly 200 calories per ounce, with 22 grams of total fat, including 3 grams of saturated fat. As metabolism slows and gallbladder function weakens with age, seniors often find macadamias hard to digest, leading to indigestion, bloating, and even an undesirable rise in LDL cholesterol, especially when combined with a sedentary lifestyle. Their exceptionally hard shells also pose a dental hazard, risking chips in dentures or damage to weakened teeth, a common concern for many over 65. In short, not every nut is automatically good for you. Peanuts, cashews, and macadamias should be eaten only sparingly, or replaced with wiser choices such as almonds, walnuts, or pistachios. Pine nuts may sound upscale and uncommon, but they belong on the blacklist for anyone over 60. If you've ever eaten pesto, Italian cookies, or a gourmet salad, you've very likely consumed pine nuts without realizing it. And if you're over 60, this is one nut you should avoid entirely. Why? 1. Pine nuts can cause prolonged taste disturbances known as pine mouth or pine nut syndrome. The hallmark symptom is a bitter metallic taste in the mouth that can persist from several days up to 2 weeks after eating, destroying the sense of taste and leading to uncontrolled weight loss, malnutrition, and prolonged loss of appetite. Studies show this condition occurs more frequently in older adults, likely because aging dulls taste receptors and reduces the liver's detoxification capacity. Loss of appetite in seniors is a silent trigger for physical decline. 2. Pine nuts interact with many prescription medications, especially those for blood pressure, cholesterol, statins, antidepressants, and vasodilators. Compounds in pine nuts can reduce drug absorption, cause side effects such as dizziness, fatigue, or hypotension, increase the risk of headaches, cardiac arrhythmias, or insomnia. The problem is that very few doctors or pharmacists mention this risk since pine nuts aren't a common food, but they easily slip into the healthy menus of those who can afford gourmet ingredients. 3. Pine nuts spoil and cause digestive irritation if not stored properly. With a very high polyunsaturated fat content, pine nuts oxidize quickly when exposed to air, light, or heat. Left unrefrigerated for just a few weeks, their fats can degrade into inflammatory compounds. Seniors already prone to arthritis, indigestion, and stomach pain are especially sensitive to these rancid oils. 4. Pine nuts are small, smooth, and pose a choking hazard, especially for older adults with swallowing difficulties, medication-induced dry mouth, or Parkinson's disease. The risk of inhaling pine nuts when eating quickly is very real. Some varieties of pine nuts contain compounds that may accelerate macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of vision loss in old age. This is a new finding that scientists are now warning about. If you've ever experienced a bitter taste after eating pesto or lost your appetite for days after a gourmet salad, you may have unknowingly suffered from pine mouth. Advice: avoid pine nuts entirely if you're over 60. There are many better alternatives. Read ingredient lists carefully on Italian dishes, sauces, and cookies, as pine nuts often aren't clearly labeled. If you must eat them, choose organic pine nuts, keep them refrigerated, and consume them immediately after opening. If you ever thought all nuts are good, today you've probably seen the truth. The right nut for the right body at the right age, what really matters. After 60, your body needs more than just healthy eating. It needs selective eating, because the nuts you snack on each day can either nourish your heart, brain, bones, and digestion, or silently drive inflammation, interfere with your medications, and increase your risk of losing independence. We've covered 4 nuts you should eat daily after 60. Almonds to strengthen bones and relieve constipation. Walnuts to boost memory and improve sleep. Pistachios to lower blood pressure and protect vision. And Brazil nuts to support thyroid function and stabilize your nervous system. And 4 you should strictly avoid or limit: peanuts for mold risk, inflammation, and drug interactions, cashews for blood sugar spikes and impaired calcium absorption, macadamias for excess calories, indigestion, and higher LDL, and pine nuts for bitter pine mouth, taste disturbances, and medication interference. You don't need to change everything at once. Simply swapping out one snack each day puts you on the path to a more resilient body, sharper mind, and healthier heart. Tell me in the comments which nut you eat every day. 1. Almonds. 2. Walnuts. 3. Pistachios. 4. Brazil nuts. 5. I'll stop eating peanuts, cashews, macadamias, or pine nuts. 6. I need to check the nut jar in my kitchen. Every choice you share could be the lesson someone else needs today.